The console wars are heating up in 2024 with Sony and Nintendo both bringing their A-game. In one corner, we've got the PlayStation Portal, Sony's brand new portal into the metaverse that lets you game, socialize, and explore virtual worlds. And in the other corner is the tried and true Nintendo Switch, back and better than ever with a slick redesign and new tech under the hood. So, which one delivers the most bang for your buck? That's what we'll uncover in this no-holds-barred showdown. We're taking a deep dive on hardware, controllers, technical specs, game libraries, multimedia features, and more. No fanboy nonsense here, just the straight facts on what each system brings to the table. By the end, you'll know exactly which console is the right fit for your lifestyle and budget. Whether you're a hardcore gamer, casual player, or just looking for some solid entertainment, we've got your back. For more information and updated prices about the products mentioned, check the links in the description box below. Let's get started. First up, let's talk about the displays and overall visual capabilities of each device because that's super important for gaming on the smaller screen. The Portal sports a pretty nice 8-inch LCD touchscreen display running a full 1080p resolution, so visually, games look excellent on the Portal with crisp detail and vibrant colors. Especially coming right from your PS5, games look almost as good as they do on the big screen. Now, the Switch has gone through a couple iterations when it comes to the display. The original model was 6.2 inches and capped at 720p resolution even when docked. The updated Switch OLED bumps the screen size up to 7 inches and adds an OLED panel for richer contrast and colors. But it still maxes out at 720p resolution in handheld mode. When docked and running in TV mode, the Switch can hit up to 1080p like the Portal, but in handheld, the Portal definitely wins out with its larger, sharper Full HD display. The OLED Switch screen looks great with its vivid colors, but it comes up short on resolution. I will say the Switch's ability to seamlessly transition from handheld to TV mode with the dock is really nice. The Portal is handheld only. But for pure gaming on the go, the Portal's display just can't be beaten. Beyond just the displays, the Portal and Switch differ quite a bit when it comes to overall processing power and graphical capabilities. And this impacts how good games actually look in action. Let's just get it out of the way. The PlayStation 5 is many times more powerful than the Switch. We're talking about a custom Zen 2 CPU paired with a 10.28 teraflop RDNA 2 GPU on the PS5 versus a hybrid Tegra X1 chip from 2015 on the Switch. It's not even close. Not to mention, the PS5 has dedicated ray tracing hardware that the Switch just lacks. So, graphically, the Portal can produce insanely detailed photorealistic visuals that just aren't possible on the Switch hardware. When streaming PS5 games, it's truly next-gen graphics on the go. That's not to say games on the Switch look bad. Nintendo has worked magic optimizing its first-party games like Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey to look stunning despite the weaker hardware. But there is a noticeable gap. The Portal lets you play the latest AAA blockbusters like God of War Ragnarok with all the graphical bells and whistles. So if you want the absolute best graphics for mobile gaming, the Portal easily wins again. Alright, let's move on to battery life. When you're gaming on a portable device, battery life is hugely important. Nothing worse than your handheld dying mid-boss fight. Nintendo has always prioritized battery life with the Switch. The original Switch model boasted somewhere between 4.5 to 9 hours, depending on the game. Pretty impressive compared to other mobile devices. The new OLED model gets a bump up to around 5.5 to 9 hours per charge. Sony says you can expect between 8 to 10 hours of battery life on the Portal, again, depending on the game. So, fairly comparable to the Switch's battery benchmark. In real-world testing, the Portal hits the lower end of that, around 5 hours for demanding AAA games, while less intensive indie games can stretch closer to 8 hours. And the Switch battery also depends heavily on the game. All said, you're looking at pretty similar battery life on both. The OLED Switch may last a bit longer, but only by an hour or so in many cases. For long trips, you'll definitely want to pack a battery backup either way. I'm calling this one a draw. Alright, now this category is where things get really interesting. What games can you actually play on the PlayStation Portal versus the Nintendo Switch? Let's break down the game libraries. The Portal only works with PlayStation games. Thanks to its remote play capabilities and connection back to your PS5 at home, you have access to the entire PS5 game catalog on the go. For PlayStation fans, that means getting to play major exclusives like God of War, Spider-Man, and Horizon Forbidden West anywhere. Now, the Switch wins big time when it comes to sheer variety of game selection. Not only do you get Nintendo exclusives like Mario, Zelda, Smash Bros., Animal Crossing, and more, but the Switch also has support from virtually every major third-party publisher too. You'll find games like The Witcher 3, Skyrim, Diablo 2 Resurrected, Apex Legends, Fortnite, and many more on Switch. And it can even stream certain cloud-based games like Control and Guardians of the Galaxy. Nintendo also has a massive indie game library on the eShop digital store. The variety is just unmatched. Yes, PlayStation has great exclusives, but you are limited to only games on your PS5 on the portal. I have to hand this win decisively to the Switch for its vastly bigger game selection and flexibility. Of course, when gaming on the go, you want the controller to feel good in your hands and give you solid control. How do the Portal and Switch compare here? On paper, the Portal should dominate here. It essentially adapts the excellent PS5 DualSense controller into a more handheld-friendly form factor. You still get the adaptive triggers and haptic feedback too. And at first, it does feel extremely natural and comfortable thanks to keeping the core DualSense layout. The sticks are smooth and the buttons are very clicky and responsive. For PlayStation games, it's an ideal controller. But here's the thing, the Switch Joy-Cons, while small, are incredibly ergonomic. The textures and contours perfectly conform to your hands and make it super comfortable for long play sessions. And the Joy-Cons have some of the most responsive face buttons and D-pads I've ever seen. While the Portal controller is great, especially for PlayStation games, I'm still amazed by how good the Joy-Cons feel for portable play despite their tiny size. I have to give this one to Nintendo. One thing I want to touch on is local multiplayer. The Switch has a huge advantage here with its detachable Joy-Cons for instant local co-op or versus play. Up to 8 Switch systems can connect wirelessly for multiplayer. The Portal has no equivalent functionality. You can't pair multiple portals together for multiplayer on the go, unfortunately. So if mobile local multiplayer is important to you, the Switch is the only choice. That said, there are various games that support multiplayer features on PlayStation platforms. These games support multiplayer features on PlayStation, allowing players to team up with friends or compete against each other in various game modes. Now let's talk about connectivity and latency or lag, because that can majorly affect the gaming experience. The Portal connects directly to your home PS5 using Wi-Fi. As long as you have a solid, fast Wi-Fi connection, you shouldn't experience much lag at all. The video streams locally from your console. But issues can crop up if your network has congestion or dead zones. The Switch connects online for multiplayer games but runs natively offline for single player. You never have to worry about connectivity or streaming lag. Everything happens on the device. This gives the Switch the edge when it comes to responsiveness. Now, remote play on the Portal actually feels extremely snappy despite streaming. But there is inherently some minor lag versus running games locally. If you have really fast internet at home, it's a non-issue, but it is something to keep in mind. Last but certainly not least, price. How much you have to pay is a huge factor. The Nintendo Switch currently retails for $299 with the base model. The newer OLED model bumps it up to $349. That gets you the tablet with the Joy-Cons, dock, and everything you need standalone. The PlayStation Portal costs $199 on its own without a PS5. So when you factor in paying at least $399 for a PS5 digital edition, you're looking at $600+ for the whole package. Add in tax and you can easily clear $700. There are good reasons for the Portal and PS5 costing more, like the significantly more powerful hardware. But after breaking down all the key factors, I think both the PlayStation Portal and Nintendo Switch have their pros and cons that will appeal to different gamers. The Portal gives you immersive console-quality graphics and gameplay from PS5 games anywhere you want. The ability to play PlayStation exclusives like God of War Ragnarok on a handheld is extremely appealing, and the 1080p display looks amazing. However, the requirement of Wi-Fi connectivity and streaming does introduce some minor lag. The battery life is decent, but not amazing. And you are limited strictly to the PS5 catalog. At $600+ all in for the device and console, it's a big investment. With the Nintendo Switch, you get an insane variety of first and third-party games in one device, plus the versatility of handheld and TV modes. The Joy-Cons are incredibly ergonomic and enable fun local multiplayer, and you don't have to worry about connectivity for offline play. Of course, the graphics and processing power lag far behind the PS5 and Portal. Battery life is almost similar, and the 720p display is noticeably lower resolution. But at $299 to $349 on its own, it's a phenomenal value. For hardcore PlayStation gamers who want to experience Sony's best exclusives anywhere, I think the Portal is easily worth the premium. Nothing else quite compares to a full PS5 quality gaming handheld. But for more casual gamers on a budget who want the biggest game library and don't mind dialed-back graphics, the Switch gives you far more bang for your buck. Nintendo's portability and versatility are second to none. Both are fantastic mobile gaming systems. You just need to decide which better aligns with your own needs and preferences. For more information and updated prices about the products mentioned, check the links in the description box below. While you're at it, be sure to let me know which one you would pick in the comments. I hope this overview gave you a good side-by-side comparison.